Hey there, you're watching Zephos Gaming, and today I'm going to be showing you how you can get some pretty good weapons in Breath of the Wild, even if you have just gotten off the Great Plateau. So the route goes like this: you're gonna want to start at K Namut Shrine. You're gonna be able to glide over to this green pin here, go around, or I guess if you want to, you could go over, which would be much quicker. Across this bridge, there are going to be some Moblins over by this Korok here, and you're going to want to be able to go around that, or just over this part, of course, and just go around this way, this direction. This part is maybe one of the most difficult, just climbing up that, but it's relatively easy, and I'll show you guys how to do all this. Go to the stamp, and you can probably get up to here, and then climb before starting from the bottom here. And then this is pretty leisurely. Now, this is where it kind of gets tricky. You're going to want to be able to go up here, but not up here. So let's delete this stamp. And you're going to want to go along this little ridge here, because up here, it's too cold. But right here is right below the where the temperature changes. So you're just going to want to make your way across that little cliff there. Glide down here. I think there's a bokoblin right here, and something over here that'll blow its horn. But there's the bokoblin right here. I think he's blue and he has a spear, but you can easily avoid him. Just go over this way and go along this path. And while you're up here, you might as well climb up this and then glide over to get your Gerudo tower, because I think it's the most challenging tower to obtain. So you should go ahead and do that. But yeah, so then you'll want to go over here, and this is where the treasure is. And so after you've made your way all along there, you're just going to be able to see this. And if you kind of poke your head through this little gap, you can see, one moment, that they have some pretty good stuff in there. There's an edge of duality and a bow right there, and some other really cool stuff. Right there you can see the edge of that teardrop sword. I forgot what it's called, but it is a pretty rare sword. So I think that's a pretty good way to obtain it. And once a blood moon happens, all of that will respawn. While you're over here, you should probably go ahead and grab the Sho Dantu shrine. That way you can come here at any time without having to go through this or the Gerudo Tower and having to climb all the way back up. So let's see I'll show you guys how it's done. You're going to want to start over at K Namut, like I said before. So I've arrived at K Namut, and I've actually done this entire run. I just wanted to test it before we actually started. So instead of jumping off from right here, you can go ahead, head down to this little, whatever this is called. And you can go ahead and, I didn't mean to start gliding just then, but you can go ahead and glide down to here, and you'll see I'm kind of going towards that green on that little mini-map. And I put the green point as kind of like a start. And those little stars that you saw on the map, that was the path. I'm going to be calling them points. That way, I'll say like point whatever. And that's going to be, I'll show you guys right here. So, for instance, this is point 1. The bridge is point 1. Point 2, point 3, etc. So, this is the direction. Now on here it gets kind of tricky. So we have this, and then we go up to here, kind of in a zigzag, up to here, and then we go around. So be sure you pay attention to that when I call them out. So you kind of see we have passed the starting point. So let's go ahead and delete that. And right here is the bridge. Now, you should be able to complete this, let's say, within 40 minutes, 30-40 minutes, probably closer to 30. It only took me about 30 minutes because I was doing it on foot. And you'll notice I have these little gold stuff, those little gold hearts up there. That was left over from before I sold all my essence. You'll probably want to do this run during the daytime, by the way, so you can avoid the stall moblins right here, because they got pretty nasty. So once you get here, you can actually go into that. There's a little niche right here, so you can jump up and just stand here and regain your stamina. And if you look up, there's a little place where that board is almost touching that wall. That, I think, is the most practical way to get up here, or at least onto the board. Or, you know, you could just get up to this spot right here and go along. Anyway, so from here, we've passed point 1, and we're on to point 2. So, we'll just go this direction, and there are no moblins on these wooden paths. I walked up to this crate, I jumped on it, and then you can climb up this way relatively easily. You can kind of just stop here. If you start sliding down, just walk up forward a little bit until you gain your balance, and you can just repeat the process until you get to the top. Just watch out for those falling rocks. That was a close one. So we are at point 2. Anyway, here we have this sun shroom, so you can kind of say that that is a little bit of a marker along with this. So near that sun shroom, you'll be able to find this chest. In the chest, you'll get 50 rubies. So we just passed point 3, I think it was, yes. And there is a Moblin and Lizalfos camp right here. So what I did was I went over here. You can get some of those darner flies, but you won't need them. I just got up here and I climbed up this way. No little niche is needed. Like I said before, you don't actually have to go around, so we're kind of skipping over point 5 and 6. If you wanted, I suppose you could climb up that way, but we're not going that direction. We are actually going to this little bridge. Well, bridge. I think it's actually a little bit of an archway, if you are on the path underneath it. And it's kind of too low to be a bridge, as you can see here. Right there to the right. It's too low. Here, let's see if I can get a better shot of that. It's just too low. So, what we can do is start from up here, or if you wanted, you can go in that direction. But you can just start from up here, guide your way in this direction, and you can fall. You might be able to hear my dog in the background. Mickey, what are you doing? Why are you rolling on the floor? But I'm just going to jump up here, and you can just climb. I'll skip over this. So, we've just reached point, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're on to point 7. Whoops. So from here, you'll just want to go left. Just ignore the coyotes, as long as you just keep walking, or I guess you could just whistle run. You should escape pretty quickly. Alright, we're about at point 7, and I've just encountered a Yiga, which I'm just going to ignore, because they're pretty stupid. So from here, we should just be on to point 8, and you'll just go through this little patch right here in between that plateau, or I guess mesa? Mesa? Yeah, I think between that mesa and that mountain. And normally, I think I already killed them all, but there are just a few pebblets, which are those little stone golem things that you can just use your bomb to explode. Here's the probably the most difficult part of this little path, is getting up to that ledge, or all the way up there. So you'll just want to start climbing, and there is a little outlet right there where you can start, or where you can stop climbing, but it is pretty steep. So if you just stop here, you just want to make sure that you don't slide down, at least too much. So from here, you can just, climb up your way. I just realized that I had lost a little bit of health. I wonder when that happened. I don't know. Mickey, you're not going to interrupt my recording. Anyway, so we've just got up here to point 10, I think. Something like that. Alright, so we are getting to a point, let's see, right up there and then up there. So you're going to want to, before going straight up to that upper cliff, you're going to want to get to this littler one, smaller one, littler. And wait for your stamina to recharge. Then get up to this one. And it's kind of easier if you go through these little crevices. Jump up a little. There's a little cliff right here where you can regain stamina. Super easy. And there you go. Now, from here, you're going to want to keep going up. So you will enter in the snow. But as you can see, this is just too cold. So we're going to need to want to go back down. Alright? Right back down to here. And it is easiest if you kind of travel along the bottom here. And you can kind of see that little cliff there. Where you can stand. Go up this way. It is cold. But you can also just go back down. You're just going to need to be quick. Okay, so from here, after you regain stamina, you will lose like probably up to 1 heart, which is not bad in any way, shape, or form. So from here, we are no longer on the path, we're kind of off it, but we are almost to the home stretch right here. And the home stretch includes the little spot where you can kind of jump off and get to that Gerudo tower. There he is. Pay no attention to him. Anyway, once you jump up here, you should be able to just jump off, glide down there, or if you want, you could glide over to there and jump from there. Or from over there. Remember, blah blah blah. From any direction, really. Anyway, right here is the home stretch. What an odd bit of lighting right there. Anyway, you can kind of see that cave right there, can't you? Yeah, you can. So, you just want to jump off here, glide a little bit, and then you should be able to see that home stretch. You might want to stay away from those coyotes. You can see that we've made it. Our campfire is gone though. You might actually want to take one of these moblin things. Get your stasis. Do the spin attack. That'll bump stuff out of the way. And now let's see what great stuff is in here. So we have the Gerudo Gerudo Spear. Come on, let's get the shield name. The Radiant Shield, the Golden Bow, the Edge Duality, and my favorite curved sword, the Moonlight Scamancer, or Scamancer. So these are all really good weapons, actually. Not only that, but you also have this magnetic boulder, which, if you want, you can line up perfectly, stasis it, whack it around, get on top of, and ride over to there where you can just jump off and use your paraglider to get to the tower. I'm so glad you guys watched this. If you enjoyed it, leave a like. If not, then don't leave a like. I will see you guys in the next video.